everyone, it is Megan, and as I promised, I am going to be doing a highlighting and contouring demo for you. So basically the concept is that you are going to use darker colors to set back features or to minimize features, and you are going to use a lighter color to maximize or to make it stand out. So I'm sitting in front of a window right now, so you can kind of see like wherever the shadows would be, that's where your contour is going to be, your darker color. Wherever like the light naturally hits, like the bridge of your nose, your forehead, the chin right here, that is going to be where you put your lighter highlight color. So the actual concept itself can be done with a BB cream, it can be done with a cream foundation, it can be done with powder. It just depends on what you typically use and what you prefer, and it's basically just the tools that you're using and the actual concept of it that you're going to apply to whatever you use to do your makeup. So I love to do my BB cream with our blending buds. You can also use a foundation brush. You can use a little bit smaller of a concealer brush. If you're doing powders, you can just do powder. You can use your little sponges that come with your compact. It just depends on what you have and what you are using. So I am going to go through with my BB cream in cream, and I start out by doing right underneath my eyes. I do, here, let me look in my mirror real quick. I do like a little diamond right here on my forehead. I bring it down the bridge of my nose, just a little bit, because you don't need a whole lot right there. And then I do down here. You can do a little bit above your lip also. And then I take my darker color, which is my honey. And this is the fun part. This is where you actually start to see the magic happening. So look at that when you make the fishy face. That is going to be where your contour goes. So if you could imagine like a line going from the corner of your mouth up to just below your temple, that's where you're going to go with that. And yes, I actually make the fishy face when I am doing my makeup. It gives you a great visual. And then I, over the past couple years, have gotten a little bit extra skin right there. So I actually want to minimize my, I don't want to call them jowls, but this chin area. And then also up on my forehead, just to kind of make my forehead look a little bit smaller. And then also on the sides of my nose, because I like to make my nose look a little bit thinner. Okay, so there you are. You've got this going on. Now this part you can do however you prefer, but I love using our blending buds. So what I am going to go through and do is just blend out the dark. I have one bud that I use for my dark and one bud that I use for the light. And since the majority of my face is dark, I use the bigger blending bud for that. And you want to make sure that you get kind of into your hairline so it blends down under your chin. So this is kind of the easy part. This is just kind of smoothing it out. And you don't want to go into where your light areas are. Just keep it about where it needs to be. And then we will buff it out a little bit once everything's all set in place. And I love these because the little tip, it makes it great for going right into these little corners. Okay. So you can kind of see where the dark is. And then I'm going to take my light blending bud and I kind of dab this, especially under my eyes. Kind of go right along there. And there's no right or wrong way to do this. This is just the concept that you want to get used to. And so if you have a bigger forehead, you're going to want to minimize that. If you have a wider nose, you're going to want to contour your nose to make it smaller. just little things like that. Whatever you want to minimize and maximize, that is what you are doing. This is completely customizable to what you need. So there's my chin. And then if I actually like doing it on my lips too. It makes a great little primer for when you go in and do your lip color. So then I go back with my dark and just kind of touch up where I need to be. Okay, so you can see that there's still some lines. And then what I do is, I just saw my son and my husband ride by on the scooter. Okay, I'm good. I'm gonna take my powder puff brush, which is amazing. It can be used wet or dry, and there's nothing on it. I don't have anything, maybe just some leftover product from whatever I used on my face yesterday. And just in a circular motion, you're just gonna kind of buff that out. And that, you don't wanna do too much, just enough to kind of blend the light and the dark spots together, and voila. So, you can kind of see, that is the look that is given me so far. If you want a little bit more dramatic of a look, this is where it gets exciting. So, I take my typical velour color, our pressed powder, and I use this to set whatever light areas I have. I am all about setting my liquid. So wherever I had the light, I go through with that. So basically my T-zone. Okay. Try to make this fast for you guys. Okay. So there's my light. And then I love to contour with our mineral powder in Foxy. It is our second to darkest color. So it's not super, super dark. So it just gives a really nice look. And I use it with our blusher brush because it's got that angle. So wherever I had the dark, I am going to go back over and touch that up. So under the cheeks especially, watch this. Just kind of dabbing. Look at that already. One side versus the other. And I go straight up. And I go right under here. Look at that. Can you already see my face is taking shape? So I just put a little bit in here and just kind of dab it out. Tap it if you need to. Make your fishy face. Or your duck lips. Whatever you want. So if you are a girl that only does powder, do your light powder where you want it, and do your dark powder wherever you want it. The light, you want it one shade lighter than your typical, or for the contour, you want it one shade darker than your natural skin tone. So you can see already. Look at that. Look at those lines. Do you see that? Like, look at my face. It's slimming down. So then, if you want to do the sides of your nose, I recommend the concealer brush because it's smaller, easier to get into those little nooks. And I always bring it from the brow right down. Do you see that line? It's pretty amazing. You are literally going to watch your face transform in front of you. It's like those videos that you see where it's like time-lapsed and they look like a completely different person afterwards. Look at that. Voila. And then of course, you can go on, do your blush. Okay, take a little bit of my brush. And that, my friends, is how we highlight and contour. Thanks, bye.